happy those kids are. And why not? I mean, an appearance on the Donahue Show, the highlight of their lives. Bill and Carla Hunter join us. You're both in your 30s. You've been married for 15 years. It was in 1981, I think, that you had your first sperm check count thing, and it was 0, right?
It wasn't nothing at all.
Nothing moving around there. So, did we find out why, or do we know?
Well, I went to Champaign, Illinois, and they had a doctor there testing it out, and we went through a bunch of tests and everything, and then we found out that there just wasn't nothing there to bring it out.
And then, so you gave up and you were going to adopt, or what's...
No, we didn't give up. He asked me, he could refer me to somebody else, and he said, where do you want to go? And I said, he said, St. Louis or Indianapolis, and I said, where's the best one? He said, St. Louis. I said, okay, let's go to St. Louis.
And then what did you do, Dr. Silber? You got no sperm count here.
Well, here was a case in 1983 where I told him, gee, I'm really sorry, but there's nothing we can do. And this is a very persistent man, and he said, well, certainly there'll be something in the future. And I said, I don't see how. This is a pretty hopeless case. And I was trying to be as gentle about it as I could, but he wouldn't take my gentle counseling, and he kept coming back. And he was right.
What did you do? What was the breakthrough that allowed you to...
The real breakthrough was that, and it only came very recently, is that we can now go right into the testicle of a man who even appears to be not even making sperm in his testicle, and always find a few sperm. Now, if you find a few sperm that aren't moving or are barely moving, you can't call that fertile, except the breakthrough is we can now, with an invisible glass needle, directly pick up a single sperm, and maybe that's all we have is one sperm, and inject it directly into the wife's eggs under 400x magnification, which would be at least 15 times the usual microsurgical magnification.
Okay. Can I draw a testicle on the chart here? Just take me a moment here. There it is. This is Biology 101. On top of the testicle, you call the vas deferens. Is that so?
Well, the epididymis. Which is very hard to pronounce.
But it's right here, isn't it?
Right there.
And it's like this, isn't it?
Right. It's a very, very tiny structure. I mean,
right. But the sperm is manufactured in here.
Right.
And then the squigglies swim up these things, right?
And then it goes to the vas deferens.
And then it goes to the vas deferens.
Right.
And then at the time of ejaculation,
it comes out.
All things being healthy.
Right.
Did we not think that the sperm, the squigglies that are manufactured in the testicle, mature as they swim up the epididymis?
Right. We felt that the sperm have to go through the epididymis to mature. All the studies showed that.
So they're kind of weak and sluggish in the testicle, but by the time they get up here, they're all, squiggling really good, and your chances of having a baby are enhanced then.
That's right.
Okay. He doesn't have any sperm. Any sperm, not only in the epididymis or in the vas deferens.
And he doesn't even have an epididymis.
He has no epididymis.
Nothing, just testicle. That's it.
Okay, but he's got, as far as you can tell, in terms of the checks you've made, healthy testicles.
He had healthy testicles, and so, but it seemed like it was hopeless because testicular sperm normally can't fertilize. That's what I told him in 83 and 88.
Because even if you were able to extract the sperm, it'd be too weak to impregnate the egg.
Could never fertilize.
All right. So what'd you do? You go to Belgium?
I've been working with Belgian doctors who, for 14 years on this problem, and this is in Brussels. I'll mention their names, Dr. von Sturtigem and Dr. De Vries. We've been working together for a long time, and we came up with the idea that I don't know if you want me to show this, but if you take a little tiny glass pipette that we can pull on a very, very delicate electric puller. I'm sure you can't see the tip. The tip of this is 1/4000th of an inch.
What are you going to do with this now?
We can, if you were to look at it, there's a little kernel of corn here, just to show you that you really, I don't know if you can't see the tip of it. I mean, I can move the corn, but it looks like nothing's moving it because the tip is really invisible.
It's that thin.
It's that thin, 1/4000th of an inch. We can use that to pick up a sperm with very complex micromanipulators and inject a single sperm through all the tough outer zone of the egg into the egg.
Right.
And then it fertilizes.
Right.
And we have a baby.
But you haven't told us how you got the sperm. He doesn't even have a sperm count.
Right.
in a moment, we're going to show this audience the film of you actually invading the testicle to harvest sperm. Is that right?
Right into the testicle.
Right. This is just one of the reasons that on the occasion of Dr. Silver walking into a room, all the men cross their legs. And we'll be back in just a moment. All right, here we go. Dr. Silver, home movie time. If you're the women won't have any trouble at all watching this. If you're a man who faints at card tricks, don't watch. Here is Dr. Silver or somebody. Is this Belgium?
This is in Belgium.
You see the incision in the testicle. I mean, this is.
Part of this is in St. Louis and part of it is in Belgium. And what you're going to see is actually right now making a small incision in Mr. Hunter's testicle, and we take a tiny piece of the testicle and put it in a culture dish.
Here you are sewing him up.
We're just sewing him up.
As a matter of fact, Bill, this is not as painful as it looks, is it? This is an office
And
procedure.
this is definitely not painful. We're chopping up, morselizing all those seminiferous tubules, and we're getting the few sperm out of that testicle. Now, what you're seeing now is 400 times magnification with that little glass injection pipette. We're picking up sperm that would be absolutely incapable of fertilizing normally, that we retrieve directly from his testicle. And we're going to watch those sperm by picking them up and going back and forth in this little pipette. And once they're sufficiently cleaned of all of the other testicular tissue that the sperm is attached to, then we're going to inject it in. This is Carla's egg. Now, this is actually the sperm and the egg that resulted in their baby, and we're injecting that sperm directly in her egg.
This is their biology here. This is the actual
conception of the babies that you're going to see. And so now you're going to see what it looked like 18 hours later, where what's left of the sperm and the nucleus of the egg are there, and finally you see the embryo 2 days later, which is 4 cells, and resulted in, one of the babies that resulted. And this is an animal I told in 1983 that there was no hope to forget about it.